Oh, the fun starts now. Region 5 play tipping off with Mountain Crest hosting Logan in Hiram on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. We're really excited to be here. John Worley with me. And these two teams, you look at them. I've talked with both coaches about the region. And Mountain Crest, one of the favorites in the region, along with Roy and Skyview. And Logan's kind of right there trying to break into that, and it's always a good contest between these two.
Yeah, but Logan always has a scrappy team, and Logan does a great job, and I know the Mountain Crest kids are excited to play, and they're excited to be back in the gym. We haven't been here for a long time, Mountain Crest.
Mo Pututau and Tyler Crosby are averaging 35 points per game between them. They are the engine that makes this Mustang team go. What does Logan have to do to slow them down?
Well, I think you have to just stay with them. They're going to score their points. And so if you can keep Mo and Tyler down and then hold, even Eddie Hall is really the challenge. You've got to keep him from being able to run the team. And if they can do that, they'll have a shot.
We'll see if they can. Stick around. The Game of the Week coming up next.
Introducing the official training bike of the Tour de France, the Proform TDF, the first ever indoor training bike that delivers everything you demand. A 20% incline and a 20% decline, so you'll experience exactly what the road does. Because it's powered by Google Maps, you choose the road and the TDF follows it. Every incline and decline, so no matter what comes at you, you'll be ready. The Proform TDF automatically adjusts resistance, incline and decline. Plus, with a built-in power meter, you'll know your exact output. You decide where to go and the official training bike of the Tour takes you there. And now that you've decided, we're ready to deliver. Order right now and get $0 down and a free upgrade on rush shipping. Call the number on your screen or go online today.
Logan visits Mountain Crest for an in-valley rivalry game to start region play on the Game of the Week. The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness. Never give up. Lewiston State Bank, your hometown bank with a new location at 3rd South and Main in Logan. Wendy's of Cache Valley, quality is our recipe. Cache Valley Hospital, your first choice in healthcare.
You're down 6-0.
Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. The Salt Lake Express, from your door to the Salt Lake Airport 12 times a day. S.E. Needham Jewelers, where Utah gets engaged. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Well, hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Crest High School in Hiram, Utah. I'm Eric Olson, along with me John Worley, as we get set to call this Region 5 opener between Logan and Mountain Crest. And you look at what both of these teams have done. Mountain Crest 6-4, Logan 7-4. Mountain Crest has won 3 straight. Logan's been kind of win-loss the last 5-6 games. And I don't even really know what to make of this game. I've seen both of these teams. On paper, Mountain Crest, I really think, should have quite the advantage in this. They're, guys coming back, they've got good size, but Logan, they just find ways to hang in there against teams maybe they shouldn't beat, and then they beat them, and they got Mountain Crest once last year.
It's a great way to start the region with a rivalry game. I mean, you've got the 3 schools in the valley, Skyview, Logan, and Mountain Crest, and it's fun to have these big rivalry games, and I know both the Mountain Crest kids and the Logan kids are excited to play, and anytime you get in a rivalry game like this, anything can happen. I think you're right. I've seen both teams play on paper. Mountain Crest probably has more talent, but Logan's got some kids that can play. Logan Bryan will have them ready to play, and they're going to be in a big gym full of people. It's going to be fun.
I talked with both coaches just a few minutes ago. Graydon Bookmiller of the Mustangs told me what to expect from the orange and blue tonight. Well, Coach, I guess all the games are for real, but people will tell you when region starts, the games are for real, and you start with an in-valley rivalry game, and Logan, always a tough squad for you to play.
Yeah, it's almost different seasons if you can look at it that way. You got your preseason, then obviously the region, and then hopefully you're in a position that you play in the state tournament. And it's a great opportunity here to open up with a valley rival to see where we're at region-wise.
Speaking of the region, this region looks like it's shaping up to be an awful tough one. Roy, Skyview, you guys, Box Elder's showing some life, and you can't count Logan out.
Oh, for sure. You're not going to be able to walk over anybody. There's no freebies in this one, and you're going to have to come physically and mentally prepared each game. And if you slip up, hopefully it doesn't cost you too much. But it's definitely a very competitive region.
You had about a 2-week span there where you had to kind of shuffle lineups a little bit. Kids sick and things like that. You at full strength now?
Yes, we are, and we're learning to play with each other a little bit again, and hopefully that shows tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Coach talked a little bit about how his team, gosh, they kind of have to learn how to play together again because they've mixed and matched their lineup so much since the end of last year.
I think that's the funnest part again about getting into region is you're going to see the coaches start to maybe thin their lineup down a little bit. They'll get to a 7 or an 8-man rotation, and you start to learn how to play with those 4 or 5 guys.
You talked about Tyler Crosby and Mo Pututau in the opener. Crosby averages 18 points a game, but also one of the leaders in the state in steals, 3.2 per game. He is a burglar of the highest order.
Tyler works hard and always has done. That's kind of the mark of his game is working hard on defense, and you just hope he doesn't get in foul trouble. That could change the game more than anything else for Mountain Crest. Is they play very aggressive. If they get in some foul trouble early, you could see some changes.
Pututau, 17 points a game, 7 boards a game, along with 4 assists, so he is a complete player. Coach Logan Brown also spent some time with me and talked about what the Logan Grizzlies are going to try to do against the Mustangs.
Well, Coach, we get out of that preseason or non-region, and now you get into the region play. I was talking with Mountain Crest Coach Bookmiller, about how tough this region looks, and you start with one of those tough teams in Mountain Crest. Logan's one of those tough teams as well, though.
Yeah, our whole region's like that. We play 3 of the best teams in our region right off the bat. I think that's great. We're going to get that challenge right off the get-go in our region. I think it's going to, it puts some definite pressure on our guys to, hey, you got to come out, you got to execute, go with your game plan, and that margin of error is very small, so you better get after it.
We'll see you next week against Skyview as well. And here's one thing as I take a look at that schedule. Skyview, Roy, Mountain Crest, they've all got some big men. Now, Pututau kind of plays a little bit everywhere, and Moore's kind of like that as well, where the one at Roy plays down low a little bit more. You got Hiram Tennant, young, coming along, but you're not that big a team. How do you combat that?
I really feel, maybe I'll say this because I'm a shorter guy, but I always tell our guys I care how big you play, not necessarily how big you are, and I think we've always challenged our guys to step up, play big, and play a little bit bigger than you actually are, and I think at times we've done that this year, and we're going to need to do it in our region this year just because we have some very talented players in our region, which is pretty impressive. You look on the rosters of a lot of the teams that we have, it's impressive to see the type of players that we have to go up against every night. But I think it's preparing us for that second phase of our season, and we look forward to the third phase after that.
That's very wise words right there about size of the dog in the fight, et cetera, et cetera. We got to stick together, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, is there somebody that's really surprised you over this non-region schedule that we ought to keep our eye on? Jordan Larson's been awesome.
He's a tough kid. The thing you're gonna know about the Larson family and their boys is they get after it. They work hard. That's Jordan. He's never missed a workout in 3 years that I know him, and he's he's one of those guys. He plays bigger than he actually is. He does a great job crashing the boards, can score for us, and he's also a team leader. And I also feel like having Luke Falk back's been a big thing for us. We haven't had him in the most of the preseason. It's been good getting him back in the lineup. Adds some more depth and scoring for us, and then he adds some rebounding capabilities. So, we're going to have some guys step up tonight to beat these guys because Mountain Crest, they got all their players back from last year that were their go-to guys, and then they've had some guys like Knowles step up and do some really good things. Kirby kids doing some really good things as well as Webb. So it'll be a fun night.
Always a good game when the Mustangs and the Grizzlies tangle. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Well, we talked about Jordan Larson with the coach in that interview, but Tyler Brimhall's the leading scorer at 16 points a game, just a sophomore. And, sometimes it shows. When he gets hot, he is blazing. And then other times, it's just not really there. But as he gets older, you can see his progression goes along. He's going to be awfully tough by the time he gets to be a senior because he's a dang good player now.
The Mountain Crest has a player just like that. He's a senior, Tyler Crosby, who's the same way as a sophomore. As he got a little older every year, he becomes the leader. Brimhall's, we've been hearing about him since he was a freshman and younger, and it's tough to be the leader of the team when you're young, but he seems to do a good job.
Well, mentioning Jordan Larson, 11 points a game, 5 rebounds per game, 2 steals per game for Jordan Larson, and he does it, at 6 feet tall, and he'll go down and mix it up inside, and he's not afraid to go against the big guys.
I think every team has their emotional leader, and Larson certainly is that, I think, for Logan. And as he continues to scrap, as he goes, so goes the team.
Well, we're about ready for our starting lineups for both teams here tonight. Of course, Mountain Crest, the home team in the whites. Logan with the dark road uniforms. For the Grizzlies, Brett Dixon.
Number 2, Jordan Larson. Number 15,
Dixon next up is Jordan Larson, the senior at 6 feet tall. There's Larson.
Number 24, Tyler Brimhall.
Taylor Compton getting the start. Tyler Brimhall, and there's Luke Falk. Brimhall 24.
I haven't talked a lot about Luke Falk, but he's kind of he's a great athlete. He could add a lot.
The Grizzlies get fired up, and here is the starting lineup for the Mustangs. 0, Tyler Crosby, the senior. Eddie Hall, first Tanner Knowles. He's also a senior. Jamo Webb getting the start tonight.
5'9", senior. Number 5.
There's Eddie Hall. Senior heavy Mountain Crest lineup.
6'3", senior. Number 4, Bangafili.
Putu Tau at 6'5", a senior. Well, that's the Mustang starting lineup.
Head coach Ray Buckmiller. Logan, head coach.
It's great. What a crowd. This is the best crowd I've seen in a high school game all year.
Yeah, it's been interesting to do these games as long as I have. It's gotten to be kind of for a while you didn't see the students much, even when the teams were good.
Yeah.
And now pretty much all 3 schools you get a pretty good student body representation. You get a few guys, dressed up in some stuff and making noise and doing crazy things. At all 3 schools have different guys. And in fact, I know some kids down at Syracuse. Mountain Crest played them a while ago, and one of these kids said, "There's some kid that came down there all dressed up like a farmer, and he's doing all this stuff." And you see him here at these games tonight. So they even travel. Webb and Hall play catch with it as Mountain Crest wins the tap to open the game. And you mentioned Crosby. He can get his in bunches. You think, oh, he hasn't done much, and then you look up and he's got 15 points.
Yep.
It's just kind of a quiet score, even though
that's
it
a
can't
good
take
sign.
over.
That's a good sign for Mountain Crest. Tanner Knowles being aggressive to the hole.
Basket, Tanner Knowles.
Knowles with the up and under. And he nearly gets a steal on the other end, right down in front of us. We can hardly see that side of the floor because of the student body.
Looks like both teams will play an aggressive man-to-man to start with.
Compton works on Hall. Dixon's shot is blocked by Putu Tau. Taking it out of the air, though, is Brimhall. And that could be trouble for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Brimhall's that streak shooter if he gets hot and going.
They try to trap Hall. He finds Knowles. Knowles hard to the hoop, and Falk denies.
Tell you, right off the top, Eric, I like Logan doesn't look intimidated about being in this gym, and I think that's a good sign for the Grizzlies right now. They're coming in, they're going to play tough.
Putu Tau tries to get it to Crosby. Didn't have any mustard on it, and it's easily stolen by the Grizzlies. We're tied at 2 underneath Brimhall. Compton from about 17. It won't go, and Putu Tau tips it over to Webb. Here come the Mustangs. Crosby down inside to Knowles. Knowles up and around and in.
Looks like Mountain Crest is going to go right at Falk. First 3 times down the floor, they've taken the ball right at him.
Larson hits the 3.
He's another streak shooter. That's a good sign for the Grizzlies.
5-4 Logan. as they take their first lead of the ball game. Larson taps that one away. Knowles has all 4 points for the Mustangs. His dad's Marty Knowles,
yep.
and his mom, Milena, she was a great volleyball player here at Mountain Crest, and Marty, a great all-around athlete on the court and on the football field, so he's got the genetics for it. Compton from Dixon.
Logan's coming to play tonight.
That's 2 turnovers for the Mustangs here early. Pututau gets Dixon off balance. 3 from Crosby. Short, rebounded by Larson. He did.
Tried to force that. Boy, that break's hurting him. Good run.
Compton's got 4 points, and it's a 9-4 Logan lead. Webb looks into Pututau. They bring the double. Here's Crosby with a good look.
Short.
That one's short. Knowles battles Falk, but Falk comes up with it. Larson all the way to the rack.
Well, Logan is pressing the ball hard. They're not going to waste any time.
Pututau steps in, takes the 3, rims around and out. Knowles puts it back. 9-6 Logan lead. Tanner Knowles with all 6 Mustang points. There's Brimhall underneath. He's got the size advantage, but he stepped out of bounds.
They got the mismatch. Eddie came down. They had what they wanted. Eddie stayed on the ground, didn't go at it, and then Brimhall stepped out of bounds. Good defense by Eddie.
Brimhall 6'3", Eddie Hall 5'9". Logan still pressuring. Pututau tried one earlier. This one, same result, but it's Knowles with the rebound. He stepped out of bounds.
Good hustle. Good hustle by Tanner. Just had a bad break stepping on the line. What a great environment. This is the best crowd we've seen all year, I think, Eric.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, feels like an old-time high school game.
We'll see it again next week, Skyview and Logan.
Yeah, and that's the region. You know, when you play in region, you're playing your crosstown rival. That's a lot of fun.
Logan still in that attack mode. Dahl has it swatted away by Pututau. The Mustangs pushing it, and it's out of bounds off of the Grizzlies. Still a 3-point Grizzly lead at 9-6. Tanner Knowles the only Mustang to score. Compton has 4 for the Grizzlies. Brimhall with a bucket and Larson with a 3-ball. They haven't been able to get Pututau down on the block. Knowles from long range.
Oh.
Got it!
Tanner Knowles.
Tanner Knowles ties it up. He has 9. Brimhall the other way. Short. Rebounded by Knowles. Knowles gives it up to Crosby. Crosby working against Dahl. Spins to his right. Rims out of there. Dahl with the board.
Boy, Logan just moving.
Dixon fouled by Hall.
Logan is going to just push this ball up and down the floor all night long.
That's the first foul on either team. It goes to Eddie Hall on the reach.
His first.
And Brett Dixon will go to the line.
For Logan, Brett Dixon.
Yeah, really, Logan is taking Mountain Crest's game to them. Mountain Crest is usually the aggressor, and Logan's really taking it to him right now.
Dixon leaves it short. Mountain Crest has used a 5-0 run to catch up at 9. It was 9-4. Dixon hits 1 of 2. 2.5 to play in the first period, 10-9 Logan. Mountain Crest has turned it over 3 times. Logan with 2. Knowles, all the points for the Mustangs. He's got 11. Everybody knows about Pututau and Crosby. But Knowles doing it.
Oh.
Here's another foul underneath, and this one may be Eddie Hall's second. And it is.
Foul is on number 5, Eddie Hall, his second.
And here comes Josh Worley off the bench as we take another look at the call.
Hall shooting.
Yeah, it was body, and Hall didn't stay put. He jumped in the air.
But Logan's, I'm impressed with Logan's backdoor cuts right now. They're taking advantage of Mountain Crest's aggressive man-to-man defense and really burning the Mustangs on the back door.
Dahl with his first point of the game as he ties it up. Brimhall takes a seat. Falk, Larson, Compton, Dallin Dahl, and Dixon for the Grizzlies. Dahl hits both.
Look at the pressure a little. Maybe a little token.
Worley, Pututau, Crosby with the ball, Knowles with 11 points, and Webb on the floor for the Mustangs. 1:50 to play in the first period. A 1-point Logan lead at 12-11. Webb, down he goes, and the first foul against Logan.
Foul is on 25, Dallin Dahl.
Dahl picks it up,
His first.
and it's a non-shooting foul. Take a look.
I don't know. JMO seemed to be in a little bit of no man's land there.
Webb
Back up again.
with the left-hand layup.
Basket, Jamison Webb.
Compton all the way to the rack. Compton has 6.
Taylor Compton.
He averages 5 a game.
That was a great drive. They spread it out for him. He drove down the middle. Looked good.
Crosby with the ball fake, and then Dixon comes over to swat. The Grizzlies with the ball and the lead with 1 minute to play in the first period. Now the Grizzlies slow it down a little bit. They're trying to clear out for Compton, and he gives it up. And a foul underneath. They're calling on Webb.
Yep.
His first third-team foul, and there's your SC Needham Jewelers middle of the block sign of the clock. 49 seconds to play, and a 1-point Logan lead. SC Needham Jewelers, where Utah gets engaged. Chapman Walk gets ready to come off the bench for the Grizzlies, and a turnover for Logan. Stolen away. Down low, Ferguson in the game, gives to Pututau. Turns, misses. Rebounded by Falk. See if Logan plays for the last shot, leading 14-13 with 20 seconds to play in the first period. Larson with 5 seconds. Kicks it back to Dixon with 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Compton at the horn. Won't go. Logan takes a 1-point lead into the second period. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
Wendy. Yep, that one. And I'm proud to introduce Dave's Hot and Juicy Cheeseburgers. They're all new and our best yet, with thicker, hotter, juicier beef, melty cheese, and a warm butter toasted bun. So come on in.
14-13 our score as we get set to start the second period. Eric Olson along with John Worley. And John, the Mustangs down by a point, and it's been Tanner Knowles with 11 points in that first period. Crosby didn't score. Pututau didn't score. Between the two of them, they averaged 35 a game.
If I'm Logan Brown right now in that huddle, I'm telling my team, great job. They came in, hostile environment, lots of energy, and they basically went toe-to-toe with Mountain Crest and punched them in the teeth. It's going to be interesting to see how Mountain Crest responds now, because the visiting or the home floor advantage, and here you go off the top.
Here's Crosby doing what he does best. Pututau at the finish.
Oh, that may get Pututau going again.
Logan comes right back. Dahl short, Worley with the board. He pushes it. Ferguson with the spin move. Back out to Worley. Crosby,
That
three.
looks better. Well,
short
ball.
He's been short on both of them.
He's been short all year long. Tyler just hasn't been able to find the range. It's been a challenge for him all year. He's been short from the floor. He's been short from the line. And I know Tyler puts the time in. It's just not falling for him yet. He'll get hot, though, and that's the difference.
Mountain Crest not able to get Pututau involved in that first period. Like you said, maybe that putback will get him involved. Sometimes you have to get your points other ways when the defense is taking things away from you.
Yeah. And they've got to stay aggressive. They're playing aggressive defense right now.
Falk turns around and hits.
Great shot. I mean, that's there's a Division I athlete right there. He turned around. Great athlete on defense. Both players went up and just made a great shot.
And he turned around, turned to his left toward the baseline. You don't see that young players much. Boy, Worley in big trouble. Finally finds Knowles.
Mount Crest are dribbling too much. They've got to pass the ball. They've got to pass the ball and take advantage of what they're giving them.
They're letting Pututau have the three.
They really are, aren't they?
He's missed two. There's a near steal. Ferguson's there.
Oh, Gage has got to go get that.
Mountain Crest fourth turnover. This one out of bounds. Mustang ball as Logan returns the favor. Their third turnover. Worley sits as Webb comes back in. Pututau, Knowles, Ferguson, Webb, and Crosby with the ball for the Mustangs. Crosby throws it away. Mountain Crest has been careless with the ball. Their fifth turnover.
Oh, good hustle.
And Ferguson gets back and breaks up that fast break.
Great defense by Logan. Great help defense. They're playing a little man-to-man. They may have been a zone there. They're playing great in the middle, though, and they're basically challenging Mountain Crest to take that three-point shot.
Compton replaces Walk. It's he and Medlin in the backcourt, along with Dahl, Brimhall, and Dixon with the ball. Medlin is Preston Medlin's little brother. He's been playing well for the Aggies. Brimhall, shot won't go. Ferguson clears the board. That's only Brimhall's, that's his first attempt since he hit one early. Knowles maybe cooling off.
Oh, great pass.
With the board, can't get the assist as Ferguson misses the point-blank shot, and it stays here.
Mountain Crest is showing a little more energy, and Logan, again, is just going punch for punch. They are not intimidated in the least right now.
Logan leading by a point. They led by one at the end of the first period with 5:43 to play here in the second. They lead by one. Pututau. He's got to get out of the key. That's 3 seconds.
I tell you, Dixon's doing a great job on Pututau right now. Certainly, Mo is the better athlete of the two, but Dixon is working hard and making him face up, not letting him get to the rim, and Mo hasn't got his jump shot going.
I think Pututau thought he had cleared at the free throw line, but his feet never left the key all the way. Pututau with the steal and then a foul at midcourt.
Yeah. And that's a good foul by Dixon. Mountain Crest had numbers and Dixon slowed it down.
Brett Dixon is first.
You watch him come down the floor. Mountain Crest has got numbers. Look, this could be a 4-on-1 or 2, and Dixon, whether he meant to or not, I'm not sure, but it was a good foul.
Dixon takes a seat.
Let's see if somebody can stay with Pututau as much as Dixon did. Dixon did a great job.
Now it's Falk that draws the assignment. Crosby.
And Tyler will get you that way.
Finally gets on the board. People know he can shoot from long range, and sometimes when it's not falling from out there, the best thing to do is go to the rack. Hit one close. Swat by Pututau. And he sent that one away with a little bit of authority.
He can jump. He can jump. Watch this. Yep, look at that. Came right at him.
Falk goes right back at him. Pututau with the board. Knowles out to Ferguson.
Great pass. Knowles did a good job feeding it, and Cage went right to the frame.
Basket. Gage Ferguson.
And the Mustangs out to a 19-16 lead.
Gage Ferguson is a good athlete, and that's exactly what he showed there. He may not have all the basketball skill, but he gives you lots of hustle and energy, and he can go to the hole. And he brings a lot of emotion to the team, too.
I really enjoyed watching him play football.
Great football
especially
player.
Defensively.
Great football player. Great athlete, works hard, gives you 110%. And that was a great move. He went right to the hole and did well.
Changed hands while he was in the air. Chandler Medlin picks up the foul for Logan.
Third team
It's
foul.
the third team foul. Both teams with 3 team fouls. And see if we can see it. Right there with the bump. Pututau spins left, leaves it short, but he was fouled.
Now that's the kind of energy you need to see from Mo for 4 quarters.
Foul is on number 23, Luke Falk.
But again, they're obviously going to give him that shot from 10, 15 feet out. That time he got him to step out a little bit, and then he made a nice move, just couldn't finish.
Quick spin to his left. Falk picks up his first foul, and Pututau uses the whole rim and misses. Pututau hits his second free throw.
Okay, so now we're going to see Logan has gone toe-to-toe. They're now down 4. This is an important possession for them.
Compton leaves it underneath for Brimhall. Shot won't go, but he'll go to the line, and Webb looks to have picked up the foul. If it is indeed on Webb, it'll be his second.
Foul on number 2.
That's who it's on.
Jamison Webb.
Mountain Crest has got to be a little careful here. Now you've got your 2 starting guards, Webb and Hall, both with 2. Don't want to see him get a third.
Brimhall hits the free throw.
So Brimhall converts this. They did just what they needed to do. Come down and convert on this possession.
Logan 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. Now 5 out of 6. And it's back to a 2-point game, 20-18 Mountain Crest. Mountain Crest 1 out of 2 from the line. That's Pututau's 2 free throws just a moment ago. Crosby, 3. Short again.
Short again.
Rebound knocked out of bounds off of Brimhall. Everything he's taken from long range has been front of the rim, front of the iron. You can tell him to quit lifting weights right before the game. Maybe do his schoolwork with his other hand.
Either that or lift more with your legs. One of the 2.
There you go.
See, they're going to give him all that shot.
Pututau.
Great defense. Again, I'm really, Dixon's impressing me. His defense, he doesn't try and out-jump him. He doesn't try and out-athletic him. He just simply stays in his way, makes him work.
Falk, 3!
Good shot. And Logan responded. Now they were down 4. They're up 1 again.
Here comes Ferguson.
There you go again.
Can't finish, but he'll go to the line.
Great pass by Mo, and Ferguson just coming in with that hustle play and getting some aggressiveness.
Fouls on Brimhall, his first. Ferguson shooting.
Brimhall picks up his first foul. That's the 5th team foul. Take another look.
Mo was unselfish and gave it up and got Gage to the line.
Ferguson's free throw is no good. What did they call that foul on?
You know, I didn't see.
Hiram Tennant, all 6'8" of them, into the ball game for Logan. I stated earlier he was a sophomore. He's a junior. As Ferguson hits the second free throw. Putting a bigger body in there maybe to protect the paint a little bit more. Compton, 3, rims out, rebound, Pututau.
How many rebounds does Mo have? He's got.
I don't keep track, but he's got a bunch.
He's got a bunch. He's had a good night on the board.
He averages 7 a game. I can remember 4 or 5. 3 of them I can remember on the offensive end. He's had at least 2 defensive, so he's getting close to that average. Webb, 3, no good.
Look a little contrast. I like the way Logan's moving the ball. I like their offense. It's got a lot of motion. The ball's moving around. Mountain Crest, for the most part, seems to be dribble drive, looking for a shot.
Webb, I think, may have just picked up number 3.
Yeah. So 5 fouls, all on Webb and Hall. Is that right?
Yep. 3 on Webb, 2 on Hall. There's too much hands.
That was number 1.
Knowles will come in, Webb will sit.
Logan's taking advantage of their free throws at this point.
They've hit 6 of 7. And number 8 still to come. Mountain Crest is 2 of 4 from the line. Larson hits both. He has 5 points in the game, and he gives Logan a 23-21 lead.
And now we'll see how Mountain Crest responds. Logan's responded well.
Little mini runs for both teams, and back and forth. Knowles draws the contact, no call, gets his own board.
Got it.
And now he'll go to the line.
Foul on number 44, Hiram Tennant.
Tennant picks up the foul.
Tanner Knowles shooting.
Knowles with 11 in the opening stanza, as you see him here cleaning up his own miss and getting fouled by Tennant as he gets Tennant off his feet. Knowles hits the first free throw, and that's his first point of the second period. Averaging 9 points a game, he's got 12. He misses the second, so for Mountain Crest, they're 3 of 6 from the line. Fall away by Falk, no good, rebounded by Knowles. He finds Crosby and he'll jog across the timeline with 1:50 to play in the first half. And Logan hanging on to a 1-point lead. Oh, Ferguson got himself stuck and nowhere to go, and Ferguson's going to get called for the push.
Foul is on Ferguson.
Gage came up, he got in trouble. There was a little no man's land, didn't quite know what to do. We've talked about this before. When you don't know exactly what you're going to do, the worst thing you can do is leave your feet. And he got in the air, and he was in trouble a little bit. And then he tried to make it up with a hustle play, and unfortunately picked up the foul.
Scoring slowed down here in this quarter. Dahl misses, rebounded by Worley. Logan scored 9 in this quarter. Mountain Crest has scored 9 in this quarter. Knowles gives off to Kirby.
Pass. Oh, Kirby.
Kirby misses, gets his own board, misses again, and then he's fouled.
That was a great pass. Knowles has been going to the frame. He could have taken the shot, and he's playing well tonight. Kirby just needs to finish that. We talked about youngsters. Kirby's a youngster, too. He's going to get bigger and stronger.
There's your SC Needham Jewelers middle of the block sign of the clock. 1:18 to play in the first half. Mountain Crest trailing by a point. SC Needham Jewelers, where Utah gets engaged, and they still trail by a point. As Kirby, who averages 3 points a game, misses his first free throw. 6'7" sophomore.
Missed them both.
High release point for the big guy. And it stays a 1-point Logan lead as we approach 1 minute to play in the first half. Dahl gets around Kirby. Rebounded by Knowles.
That's the second time that Logan's been able to penetrate the middle of that zone now. The Mountain Crest's got to figure that out.
Pututau goes to work, kicks it out to Knowles. 3-ball. Boom!
Well, that was the best ball motion that Mountain Crest has had the whole game. They moved it in, came back out, brought it in, and then kicked it out and picked up the 3.
15,
now Mountain Crest back in the man-to-man.
15 first half points for the young man, Tanner Knowles. Numero uno, and he gives the Mustangs the 2-point lead.
Well, now Logan's staying with Mountain Crest back in the zone. There it is again. They're letting those cutters come straight to the middle. That backside guard's got to play defense on them. Unless there's a different scheme, it worries me. Now we're going to play man up.
10 seconds. Fault.
Big guy.
Can't get the angle jumper. Rebounded by Pututau. 2 seconds. Worley fires away. Won't go. But Mountain Crest leads 25-23 as we head into halftime in a fun first half in Hiram.
Last time I bought a car, it felt like... Yeah, it felt like that.
Want to have a good experience buying a vehicle? At Hanson Motors, we've been taking care of customers for over 60 years. One of the hot 5 reasons to buy a Hanson is a hassle-free, haggle-free buying experience. For the best price on a new or pre-owned vehicle, and most of all, an enjoyable buying experience. Get to Hanson Motors in Brigham City.
Cheer and Spirit squad performing here at the half. Let's watch the rest of this performance. The Mountain Crest Cheer and Spirit Squad performing here at the half for the Mustang faithful. Mountain Crest leading 25-23 after an entertaining first half. Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness. Never give up. Lewiston State Bank, your hometown bank with a new location at 3rd South and Main in Logan. Wendy's of Cache Valley, quality is our recipe. Cache Valley Hospital, your first choice in healthcare.
You're down 6-0.
Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. The Salt Lake Express, from your door to the Salt Lake Airport 12 times a day. S.C. Needham Jewelers, where Utah gets engaged. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Mountain Crest leads Logan 25-23 at the half.
Introducing the official training bike of the Tour de France, the Proform TDF, the first ever indoor training bike that delivers everything you demand. A 20% incline and a 20% decline, so you'll experience exactly what the road does. Because it's powered by Google Maps, you choose the road and the TDF follows it. Every incline and decline, so no matter what comes at you, you'll be ready. The Proform TDF automatically adjusts resistance, incline and decline. Plus, with a built-in power meter, you'll know your exact output. You decide where to go when the official training bike of the Tour takes you there. And now that you've decided, we're ready to deliver. Order right now and get 0 down and a free upgrade on rush shipping. Call the number on your screen or go online today.
Clark Salt Lake Express and the airport shuttle have merged and become one.
So we still have doorstep service, and it's about the same price as it was before. Our focus now is to try to provide as many opportunities for people who need to have the ability to get to and from Salt Lake when they want. They don't want to wait at the airport for 2 hours. They also don't want to be driving around the valley when they get here.
And you bring us to a location that leaves on time.
We'll have another vehicle take you here to save time comfortably, and that main vehicle goes 12 times a day on schedule, both leaving the valley and coming back.
Now with print, online, and mobile offerings, the Herald Journal gives you easy access to the news that matters to you.
The paper's here!
We're delivering quality local news to more readers than ever, in more ways than ever. Subscribe today. The Herald Journal, empowering the community.
25-23 our score at the half. Mountain Crest leads Logan. Logan led 14-13 after one period of play, and then Mountain Crest outscored them 12-9 in that second period as both teams I don't know if the defense clamped up a little bit more or both offenses slowed down a little bit more. Here's what we're talking about. With these crowds and these guys that do these things. That's Wild Bill Jr. up there. He's not quite Wild Bill. He's at least Unruly William. For the Logan, they were paced by 6 points from Taylor Compton, Luke Falk, and Jordan Larson with 5 points apiece. 4 from Tyler Brimhall, 2 from Dallin Dahl, and Brett Dixon with 3 points, with 1 point. And Coach Buckmiller is with John Worley down on the sideline. So let's go and talk to him.
So, Coach, I think Logan came in and gave a little more energy than we thought. What did you tell your team at half?
We've got to be able to go out and match that. Third quarter is going to be huge. We've got to go out and establish ourselves and just go play basketball like we know we can.
Anything different in the second half than in the first?
Defensively, we've got to keep holding court like we have. Offensively, we just got to be a little bit smarter with opportunities that they're giving us. So
great. Good luck. Thanks.
All right, well, looking at Mountain Crest's line in that first half, it was the Tanner Knowles show. 15 of his team's 25 points. 2 for Tyler Crosby, 3 for Mo Pututau. Webb had a bucket, and Ferguson had 3 off the bench. But 15 for Tanner Knowles, really keeping the Mustangs in it when they couldn't find Pututau down low to get him going early in that first half. And Crosby's shot hasn't been falling, and it's been Knowles with those big 15 points that have helped Mountain Crest out to this 2-point lead at the half. John Worley back with us here. I didn't hear a thing he said. It's loud in here.
What he basically said is they just got to come out and play basketball. We talked about it at half. I think but the body language and the emotion is a big thing going on in this game. If you watch it, Logan came in and said, we're not nervous to play here, we're not intimidated, and they've really shown it. And Mountain Crest, on the other hand, I think sort of felt like, hey, it's our home gym, it's a region opener, we're supposed to win, and now you're going to see who's really going to do it. It was a great first half.
This one out of bounds off of the Grizzlies. Hall sat for much of that first half with 2 fouls. Webb picked up 3. So the starting backcourt in trouble foul-wise for the Mustangs. Knowles gets it into Pututau. Pututau, backdoor cut. Webb will go to the line.
You see Logan's defense is really giving Mo, as we talked about that shot, but once they bring it inside, they're really keying on him, and so if that's what they worked on or talked about at halftime, it makes sense. Get the ball into Mo, and then Mo looks for someone to pass to. That was a great little backdoor cut by Jamison.
Paid a lot of attention to Mo, haven't they?
Once he gets it in the key, but they're letting him have that 3-point shot. We've seen Mo make some of those shots. He could do that.
Brimhall called for the foul. That's his second. Webb has 4 points as he hits 2 free throws and stretches that Mustang lead to 4. That matches their largest of the game. Compton used that pick from Dixon to get almost all the way to the rack. Then he gave it up to Falk, and Falk can't score as Knowles is there to protect the rim. Knowles all the way, and he'll go to the line. Dixon picks up the foul.
You know, I've talked a little bit about Mountain Crest's sort of lax body language and approach, but not Tanner Knowles. He's gone to the hole all night long.
15 in the first half, 15 of his team's 25 points. He's our early favorite for the player of the game if the Mustangs come out on top. They're saying non-shooting foul.
That's interesting.
Pututau off the inbounds play. Yeah, that's up and down. He tried to make it look like he'd had it knocked away, but Mountain Crest with the turnover. They're 7th. They started taking better care of the ball there late in that first half.
Yeah, they did.
Logan with only 4 turnovers.
There's Tyler.
Crosby.
Logan's really starting the ball up high, too, which is spreading the defense out and giving him a chance to go to the lane. and they've taken advantage of it so far.
Down low, they look for Falk, and they throw it away, and Webb just picked up number 4.
Oh boy, that's a tough blow.
Webb couldn't believe it, and he took a seat on the hardwood, and now he's going to have to take one of those nice little front row padded seats. Got a good view of the game. Here's a look at that foul.
I think it probably was. He had him by the back shirt. He was grabbing him.
Looking for Falk down low. Ball's on the line and out of bounds. 5th turnover for the Grizzlies.
That's the second time in that possession they went to Luke down in the key. It looks like that may be an approach they're going to take in the second half.
4-point Mustang lead with 6:20 to play in the 3rd period. Hall steps inside the 3-point line. This one's short, rebounded by Dixon.
That's a great drive.
Compton, you bet.
Nice little drive by Compton. Little stutter step, went right past Eddie.
His first point since the 1st period, and a foul on the Eddie Hall drive.
Foul is on number 23, Luke Falk.
They call it on Falk, and Falk picks up his 2nd.
This game's going to get a little testy here. We've got some people. We've got a little talk going back and forth between the two teams. Close game, 1st region game.
Falk goes for the steal. Just picked up number 3.
That was a frustration foul. He was frustrated from the last play, and you could see it was almost like, I'm going to get this foul. I'm going to come after it. Coach Brown's got to talk to him and say to him right now, you can't do that. You've got to keep your head in the game.
He's telling him on the sideline, look, we need you.
Yep.
Dahl tries to force the turnover. He does not.
Dahl's been quiet in this game, but I'm telling you, he's a player out there. He's a lot of emotion, and that was all Logan wanted to say, I think, was to get him out for a minute and say, come on, Luke, you got to be smarter than that.
He puts him right back in.
Yep, and I like that. It's a great job. I think Logan Brown's a great coach. I like the way he approached that.
See how Falk responds to that. We want him to stay aggressive, but be smart. And he's playing the middle. Knowles all the way to the rack!
That was a nice roll. That was a nice to the frame, and he finished it off nicely. And Logan Brown makes a smart play, stops the momentum right there. That was fun. Great play by the player, great move by the coach. Watch this. Sees the lane, goes up. Well, I think, I'm going to slam it. Look at that. That's fun.
Knowles with 17.
Wow.
To lead all scores, and it's a 4-point Mustang lead at 29-25 with 5:20 to play in the 3rd period. A little bit slower pace here in this 3rd.
Yeah, but you know what, Eric? This is the fun part about high school basketball. These kids are going at it, and there's more emotion in this gym than anywhere you're going to go, and they are playing back and forth. The fans are into it. Logan's come in and said we're not going to be intimidated. Mountain Crest has come out of half and said, hey, we're gonna punch right back, and there's a lot of energy going and lots of emotion. This is a lot of fun. Good basketball game. The coaches are both into it. There's a lot of strategy going on. This is great.
You've got to hold serve at home if you're playing in this region.
Logan's making a big statement right now. I'm saying, hey, we're not intimidated to come in here and